Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome back to another story time with Santa. With Santa. We have a great book for you as we're heading into our Christmas break. We hope that you guys have a very Merry Christmas. We have a group of kiddos here with us today, and they have been telling me everything they want for Christmas. And I will not share that with you, but they are wanting some very interesting things. And so I hope that you guys have a wonderful Merry Christmas. A great book, Corduroy's Christmas Surprise. Corduroy's Christmas Surprise. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a wonderful book. There was only a week to go until Christmas, and Corduroy could hardly wait. This was one of the best times of the year. Corduroy loved the smell of his Christmas tree. He loved taking the ornaments and lights out of the closet. He loved stringing popcorn and berries and trimming the tree. And that was only the beginning. Corduroy's list of fun things to do at Christmas time went on and on and on. I'm sure each of you have some fun stuff that y'all like to do at Christmas, don't you? This year, Corduroy thought to himself, Christmas was going to be even more fun than usual. His best friends, Mouse, Rabbit, Dolly, and Puppy, were coming over to spend Christmas Day at Corduroy's house. And he had the little gifts for his guests. So he pulled out the wrapping paper, tape, and ribbons. Wrapping presents always got Corduroy into the holiday spirit. That reminded Corduroy that he had not written his letter to Santa. What did he want for Christmas? Well, thought Corduroy, it'd be fun to have ice skates this winter. He could use a new warm sweater. Oh, he always wanted a train set. And a new ball would be nice too. Corduroy wrote his letter in his neatest, best printing. Just then the doorbell rang. Ding dong. Corduroy put down his letter and went to the door. And there was Mouse, Rabbit, and Puppy standing in front of the house. And they were singing, "We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year." When the carolers had finished, Puppy said, "Corduroy, grab your coat and come with us. We'll all go caroling at Dolly's house." So Corduroy did just that. He put on his coat and scarf, and the four friends made their way over to Dolly's house, and they began to sing. Dolly opened the door. She looked so surprised. Then Dolly invited them all inside. "I'm putting the finishing touches on my gingerbread house," she said. "Why don't you come in and help me?" A real homemade gingerbread house. Corduroy had to see this. Have you ever made a gingerbread house before? And what a gingerbread house it was. It had lots of windows and fancy front door and a chimney, and Corduroy could hardly believe his eyes. "This is one of the best things about Christmas," said Dolly. "Don't forget Christmas tree," said Corduroy. "And Christmas carols," said Rabbit. "And Christmas candy," said Puppy as he gobbled up some candy. "And Christmas presents," said Mouse. Everybody laughed. Then they started talking about what each of them wanted for Christmas. Dolly said she wished for a pair of ice skates. Puppy said he wished for a train set. Rabbit said he could use a new sweater. And Mouse said a brand new ball would be fun. Corduroy didn't say anything. How could he tell them that he had written to Santa to ask for all of those things? Is he feeling bad, you think? That he asked for so much? Back at home, Corduroy found his letter to Santa right where he had left it. He decided to make a few changes. What if there weren't enough presents to go around? What if Corduroy got what he wanted, but his friends didn't? So Corduroy pulled out a new piece of paper and he wrote this letter to Santa. And this is what it said. "Dear Santa, please bring ice skates for Dolly, sweater for Rabbit, trains for Puppy, and a ball for Mouse. I don't really need anything this year. Thank you, Corduroy." He's making Christmas about somebody other than himself. Then Corduroy pulled on his coat and his scarf and his boots. Corduroy put the letter in an envelope and headed to the post office. And he walked outside to the mailbox and he dropped the letter inside. And he hoped Santa would get it before Christmas. A few days later, it was Christmas Eve. The very next morning, Corduroy's friends would be coming over to celebrate with him. Corduroy was getting ready for baking Christmas cookies. He hoped he had made enough. Before Corduroy knew it, It was time for bed, but first he had two important things to do. He hung his stocking on the mantle, and he left the milk and cookies on the table for you know who. Maybe Santa wouldn't be bringing anything for him, Corduroy thought, but he was so happy that his friends would get exactly what they wanted. Then Corduroy climbed into bed. All night long he dreamed of happy looks on his friends' faces when they opened their presents on Christmas morning. The next morning, Corduroy sat up in bed and rubbed his eyes. It was Christmas Day. It had finally come. Corduroy looked out the window to see a crisp, sunny day and a fresh blanket of snow on the ground. I hope we get snow for Christmas. Then Corduroy rushed out to the living room to find lots of presents under the tree. Corduroy could see there was one labeled for Mouse, one for Rabbit. There was one for Dolly and Puppy, and could it be? There was one for Corduroy too, an extra present for each of them. Corduroy was so surprised. Now he really couldn't wait for his friends to arrive. Once everyone had come, Mouse, Rabbit, Dolly, Puppy, and Corduroy sat down together by the tree and opened their presents. Dolly got ice skates and a scarf. Rabbit got a sweater he wanted and a picture book too. Puppy got the train set of his dreams and a new hat. Mouse got a ball and some warm winter boots. And Corduroy got ice skates and a sweater. How in the world did Santa know that he wanted them? But really, Corduroy thought to himself, the best gift of all of Christmas was that he's surrounded by his friends. And they were all so happy. That made Corduroy happy too. He would have to write one more letter to Santa to say thank you for the best Christmas ever. I hope this Christmas that you also make it about somebody else, not just yourselves. And I hope that you guys have a Merry, Merry Christmas. And I love you very, very much.